Are you ready to save some money? Because I've got 18 really simple ways to save money on a roller Caribbean cruise up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RollerCaribbeanBlog.com. Every dollar you save, whether it's $1 or $100, adds up quickly. And there's some easy ways to save money on a roller Caribbean cruise if you know what to do. I don't think it matters what your budget is. Any money saved is always appreciated. So I want to give you a list, and I came up with 18 different ways to save money. Number one, stick to the free restaurants on board. One of the most repeated tips to save money on any roller Caribbean cruise is to eat at the restaurants that are included in your cruise fare. Royal Caribbean offers restaurants that cost nothing extra to dine at, as well as restaurants that cost extra. Now, the choice is yours, and for a lot of cruisers, they assume they need to eat at specialty restaurants because of how much the cruise line advertises them. The reality is the food that's served in the main dining room, Windjammer Buffet, and other spots is really good, and there's certainly more than enough food to keep you satisfied, and considering how much the cruise fare costs up front, it makes a lot of sense to lean heavily into those restaurants rather than spending extra on additional food. Specialty restaurants can offer either higher quality food or cuisines not otherwise available in the free restaurants, but if you can avoid the temptation to dine at them, you could save a lot of money off the bat quite easily. Number two is to book an inside room rather than that balcony or suite. There are 4 basic types of cabins on any cruise: inside, ocean view, balcony, and suites. And generally speaking, the price goes up as you move up to each category. An inside cabin is going to almost certainly be the cheapest option, and it gets you everything you need without a hefty price. No matter how much more moving up to a balcony would be, the money saved by staying in an inside cabin could be a real difference maker. Let's be honest, in a lot of cases, you aren't spending that much time in your cabin because there's so much happening around the ship and in the ports of call that you visit that a lot of the times your cabin ends up being somewhere to sleep, shower, and change, and then you're off to the races somewhere else. So far, we've been pretty practical, so number 3 is impractical, and that is don't be lured into buying jewelry or watches on board. Now, jewelry deals are plentiful on a Royal Caribbean cruise, but they aren't necessarily that great. So when you're on board the ship and you're walking through the Royal Promenade and you see those Invicta watches or some other jewelry on sale and advertised as offering a deal, let's be real about this. They may not be that great of a deal, not to mention the fact that you should also price compare not only what's available on the ship to what's available online and back at home or even in the ports of call you visit. But hey, if you can skip the jewelry sales, you might be saving yourself a lot of money. Number 4, bring your own medication. So you never know if you're going to catch a cold, eat something that doesn't agree with you, or get seasick. So you really want to be prepared. A really good idea is to buy travel-sized options for medication from your local drugstore instead of relying on Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean does sell generic medication like ibuprofen or Pepto-Bismol, but they're going to charge you way more for that. So it's a really good idea to keep some essentials with you: cold medicine, seasickness medication, headache medicine, sunburn treatment, and upset stomach and diarrhea medicine. Bring your own medication means you're not only going to not waste money on the same overpriced meds on the ship, but you also get the brand, dosage, and type of delivery method that you prefer. Number 5, you could skip a drink package because drink packages are not cheap. Now, similar to what our first tip was, which was to only rely on the food included in your cruise fare, it stands to reason that a drink package just costs way too much money, and the drinks included in your cruise are sufficient, assuming, of course, you don't want alcohol. Even if you do want alcohol, you need to remember if you buy a drink package, you need to drink enough per day to quote-unquote break even on them to make it worthwhile, quite frankly. Otherwise, you're just better off paying for drinks you really want individually. Number 6, bring your own wine or champagne. So let's say you do skip the drink package, but you still want to have a glass of wine with dinner. This is pretty common. And the good news is Royal Caribbean allows you to bring 1 bottle of wine or champagne per adult in your cabin on embarkation day. In addition, you can also bring 12 bottles of non-alcoholic drinks per cabin as well. And this is a great hack for making sure you have a little bit to drink on board your cruise without paying anything extra, or at least not paying anything extra for the onboard prices. Obviously, the bottle of wine still costs money back at home, but I'm willing to bet you paying retail prices for that bottle of wine at home is going to be cheaper than paying the prices on board the ship. Next on my list is waiting until midnight to book your Wi-Fi package. So this is a really cool hack to save about $20 on your internet package. Instead of buying the internet package for your entire cruise, wait until midnight on the first day and then activate it. The rationale is you'll be able to use your cellular connection up until the ship leaves, and then it's only about maybe 7 hours or so until midnight. And by waiting to midnight, you pay a pro-rated rate for the remainder of their cruise minus day 1. And let's face it, if you can go for a couple hours without the internet, you could save yourself a little bit of money there. Number 8 is instead of buying Royal Caribbean's internet service, just find free Wi-Fi in the ports you visit. There's usually a bar, restaurant, or shop that advertises free Wi-Fi while you're in that establishment, and it's good enough for checking your email, catching up on social media, and otherwise getting connected for a brief period. If being online is not a priority for you during your cruise, then relying on free internet hotspots while in port could save you over $100 compared to paying for Royal Caribbean service. Now, don't forget, you can still use the Royal Caribbean app without a Wi-Fi package, including the chat feature. So really, this is a good tip for anybody who just does not absolutely need internet for their entire cruise. Speaking of being in port, number 9 on my list is to, well, drink alcohol in port. Because just like the Wi-Fi, the booze is probably cheaper in the places you're visiting than on board the ship. It's really not difficult to find bars in the ports your ship visits, and there's a good chance the price is going to be less than what Royal Caribbean offers, especially in Caribbean ports. You'll need to price it accordingly, but you might save money getting your drink on in port instead of buying drinks on the ship. Number 10, speaking of drinks, how about taking advantage of the drink of the day special? Every day, there will be one cocktail that is $3 or $4 cheaper than usual. It's listed in the Cruise Compass, as well as noted on many signs at many bars. If you're not picky about your drinks, these savings could add up quickly. Number 11, definitely take advantage of your loyalty offers, because even after just one cruise, Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society gives you discount coupons that you can use. The catch is, you need to remember to ask to use them. Each person gets an assortment of discounts they can use, such as half off a glass of wine, 25% off any coffee beverage, or discounts on Royal Caribbean logo merchandise. You'll get a letter in your cabin with the exact list of offers that every guest has. Then, you just need to ask the crew member at the bar, shop, or spa to redeem the discount when ordering. So it's up to you to remember to ask for the discount. Number 12, and this one pains me a little bit, but that is skip the casino. Because at the end of the day, you can save a lot of money by not risking any of it in the casino. The casino is a huge revenue maker for any cruise line. And while you could theoretically win money there, it's just easier not to go in and spend money there in the first place. Remember, you can't lose if you don't play. Number 13 is, I talked earlier about things you can skip, like drink packages and Wi-Fi. But if you do want to buy them, well, then you can save money by repricing them again and again. Royal Caribbean runs sales almost every day leading up to your cruise, and you could definitely take advantage of number 1, better price online before your cruise begins, and number 2, if there is a better price after you book it online, you can always cancel and rebook. Number 14 is to limit overspending on your cruise by having a daily budget. It's a really good idea to set a number. For example, plan $100 a day spending per day, including sea days. This helps you with spending money on the ship, like at shops, casinos, especially dining or whatever, as well as in ports. And this is a really smart method of ensuring you don't go swipe happy and come home after your cruise to a giant bill. Next up is to prepay as much as humanly possible. By prepaying gratuities, beverage packages, and short excursions, this allows you to get on the ship and know that you won't be charged additional charges unless, of course, you make those purchases on board the ship. If you want to save money on your cruise, then definitely look for a good travel agent that has special rates for you. Some people think booking a cruise directly with Royal Caribbean will save them money, but they're really wrong. A good travel agent has access to special rates and offers. Plus, there's no cost to using a good travel agent because Royal Caribbean pays them a commission, not you. I've lost count how many times I research the cruise I want to book and then contact my travel agent to book, only to be told by them they have a better rate thanks to a group rate. Travel agents cost nothing extra, or at least should cost you nothing extra, and can give you a more personalized experience and good advice. If you had a bad experience, try another one. Some are good at customer service and some are bad. Just like, of course, there are bad restaurants out there. It doesn't mean you don't skip every other restaurant in the world. Similarly with travel agents, you got to find the right one for you. We're up to 17 on our list, and that is if you can book a cruise during the shoulder season, you can save a lot of money compared to peak season. It's one of my best tips to get a cheaper cruise. Really what you want to do in general is book a cruise that's far away from school breaks and holidays as a good strategy to get lower prices. If you can go on a cruise in the month of September and October in the Caribbean, which is the time in which it's hurricane season and school's back in session, as an example, you could save a lot of money with that. Royal Caribbean's off-season prices can typically be found during January, excluding Martin Luther King weekend and, of course, New Year's Eve, February, excluding President's Day weekend, the entire month of May, the entire month of September, the entire month of October, and the first 2 weeks of November, and the first 2 weeks of December. Now, the downside to off-season is there's a reason it's less popular. It could be because it's in the middle of hurricane season or during a month prone to colder temperatures. And lastly, you don't have to get off the ship in port. Don't feel obliged to get off the ship and spend money on an excursion that doesn't excite you. If you're looking at the tours and nothing excites you, don't spend the money. Not only will you save money by not paying for a tour, but you get to enjoy a relatively emptier ship while others are in port. There you have it, 18 easy, simple ways to save money on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and hopefully 1 or 18 of these will benefit you, so that way you can have more money to, well, book another cruise. Let me know in the comments below, what are your best strategies, easy ways to save money on a Royal Caribbean cruise? While you're down below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.